Hello there, my email family, and welcome to the middle of November. April. Boy, does that describe what I was going to talk about. Because we're all in the midst of time changing and, uniqueness coming in. And oh my gosh, last month we went through the new moon with the spring equinox coming in, and then we just had a full moon 2 weeks ago, and then here on the 20th we're going to have a new moon with an eclipse. So being that the moon was in, or our cycle has been in Aries, which is about the fire sign, getting things going. Did you feel inspired to get things going? I know I did. I rebranded myself. I was so excited about rebranding myself because it's really calling in that old part of me, like the seer, the energy seer. Well, I've been a seer through many lifetimes, past lives, right? That I actually wanted to tell you that I do work with energy, feng shui. I see emotions as they are energy. I see a lot of things going on, right? Well, this is the time to really call in ourselves. And I was part of that dance, right? Calling in that fire, that energy to get ourselves going because of the fact that when you have a new moon with an eclipse, what is that new starts that you want to do? Well, that can carry through for a lot of months here coming forward. So remember, what you think is what you may perceive yourself as. Like the mantra that's coming back to me that I had a couple years ago was, how I perceive myself is how others perceive me. So talking with a couple people lately about how they had to negotiate through their persona, like they have to be somebody for other people, but yet are they truly themselves? Well, it's really time to get into that core of who are we? What are we? Because the spiritual awakening that we're going through is going to be huge. Now, here we're going to be going into the eclipse and the next stage of Mercury retrograde the day after on the 21st is when it's going to pop in, right? So we're kind of in the shadow effect of Mercury in retrograde. And Mercury, remember, is about technology, words, how do we speak? So there again is speaking to ourselves. How do we negotiate this story? And I've really been getting the feeling, and I got this at the end of last year, about how our a lot of the things, our core things, our governments, our monies, our all these things that are really stirring up. Well, I read about Taurus because Mercury is going into retrograde in the sign of Taurus, right? And Taurus is about the bull, being bullish, kind of being detached, getting into the moment. How can we be bullish about our conversations? Sometimes it's not always the best thing, right? So we got to be careful about being bullish. Well, if you're looking at where we're going with this, that it is about, technology, wording, and that kind of thing. Well, look, if you had any whispers, if you do any of the scannings that you do on like a TikTok or anything like that, this thing about the banking system is coming up, right? Well, I've been getting a feeling that things have been shifted up, but this whole shift up of the spiritual awakening, there's going to be the positive side of the coin, and then you flip the coin over and there's going to be the shadow work. So what are the things that humanity is going to do that is going to be kind of triggering us? And then there's this big moment. Well, I can tell you, doing this book study that I did with how to overcome under earning, right, has really looked at how do our emotions attach to who we are. And some of these outer things, please, please, please be careful how it's triggering your fears. Because the fact that we don't want the fears to come in. We want to be positive. We want to be proactive. So what happens if our banking system shifts up? How can we be proactive? Well, most of us are negotiating that a little bit anyways through Venmo and that kind of thing. But how do we negotiate it? Do we step into fear or do we step into empowerment? I want you to really check in with that because there's going to be a lot of these backward things that are going to come in and undermine us. And it's going to really trigger us. And that's what Mercury retrograde does, is it makes us when a planet goes into it goes into the re's, rethinking, re-knowing, redoing, reapplying, and like I was on the radio today, and there was technology problems. Flow with it. Don't take it personally. Negotiate with it. Don't take it personally. And remember that you're in strength. You're in this. And so going back to the persona thing, remember, this is about finding our truer calling, truer knowing, truer being. So believe in who you are. Sift through all this, stuff that's sitting on top. Sift through it, metaphorically, for real, and really decide, what is this triggering in me that I need to work on? What is the story outside of me? What is it in the banking system? Let's say the fear of not having enough money. Well, what can that happen? Well, what am I going to do about it? Because I know that for you, that you've got it. So believe in you and know that you can do it. And if you need some help with this, working through the struggles of the triggers or anything like that, I'm here for you. So remember that you are you and you can believe in you, because how you perceive yourself is how others are going to perceive you. Blessings to you on this journey. I'm Natasha Venter.